Okay, so I'm honestly just going to make this a short video. One, because I know that if I don't just start talking, like there's nothing specific on my mind at the moment that I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that. But I know that once I start talking, once I start flowing, that the words will just come, the ideas and the things that have been on my mind and the things that I find will be useful and insightful will just come. And this is also me being aware that we don't have to wait for this right moment to do things. So using the example of YouTube, if you know that you want to be a content creator, it requires consistency, especially on the days that you don't want to do that. And that's the same with the gym. You know, you don't get a great gym body, or you don't get a great health and fitness. I could have used better words there, but we're just going to roll with it, because this is the point. So often we wait for things to be perfect. We wait for us to be perfect, whether that's what we're saying is perfect or how we say it, how we look. And when we wait for that perfect moment never comes, or it so rarely comes, because the harsh truth is that often we're not ready. And what even is ready? Like, if you think of having a child, your first child, when are you ever going to feel fully ready to have that child? You know, you could read all these books, you could talk to all these people who have had that experience, but you're still stepping into something unknown. There are things that you're not going to know until you're on that path, until you're on that journey throughout that pregnancy. And this applies to life and the things you want to do as well. We don't know unless we take the steps to do the things. So waiting for the right moment is pointless. It's how you use your time. And I'm learning this more and more every day, and I still notice myself getting into these cycles where I put off things until I'm ready or until I feel like it. And that specifically, waiting until you feel like doing something, that is so dangerous, because you're placing this dependency on your feeling state. And often we create the feeling state by the things we do, so we can affect our own emotions. So if you're always waiting for the right moment to do things, or you're waiting for the right feeling state to do something, then what if that never comes? What if you just keep pushing it and pushing it back? Surely you're going to keep pushing your goals back, pushing your aspirations back. So just begin. Just begin. You don't need to be perfect already. And for so long, I was on this inner healing journey where I thought that I had to do so much healing, which, don't get me wrong, like I did so much healing on myself, and I'm in such a better place now, and I'm so grateful that I spent the time to do that. But I also recognized that I was creating this belief within me that said, I'm still healing, I'm never going to be healed, because I was always pushing it back. Okay, we're never going to be healed. Like, there's always going to be things on our journey that we need to heal from, that we need to learn from, and that's okay. We don't need to get to this place where we're fully healed, because what even is that? And I think this is something that the healing space online and with therapy, they don't really talk about as much, is the fact that when we keep perpetuating the fact that we're broken, then what does that do for our minds? We're constantly on this hamster wheel of never being enough, of needing to do more, of not having. So therefore, what we're sending out to the universe or to God is that we lack, we're not enough. I'm not enough for this thing. Says who? Says who? Who says you're not enough to go and get that job you want to get? Who says you're not enough to go and start that channel you want to create? Who says that you're not enough to have that relationship you want to have? And often it's you, it's your mind, it's your beliefs, it's what other people have told you. So we need to start to come back to ourselves in a way that we really question these ideas and beliefs that we have towards the things that we want to have, or that we feel like, you know, are we ready to have that thing? Are we ready to have that relationship? Are we ready to have that job? It's you that determines if you're ready. How would you act if you were ready? Well, you would be more confident about these things. You wouldn't be so worried about the fact that, you know, is it going to happen? Well, it hasn't happened before, so it's not going to happen again. We need to stop regurgitating the past, because the past is the past. We were a different version of ourselves in the past, so let it go. Let it go and stop holding on to it and bringing it back into the now, because the more you bring it back up, the more the past is just going to keep recycling in your life. And I say that with also a level of compassion, because I go through these cycles. I go through these stages of noticing myself going back to old cycles and old ways of thinking, because so much of it is not the fact that cycles are repeating, it's that we're placing this idea that a cycle exists. Okay. And my camera just cut out because I do not have much storage on my phone, and you know what, that's something that held me back from actually starting YouTube for so long, was the fact that I was placing this idea on that, oh well, I'm not ready because I don't have a phone that can hold the capacity to film videos. And while a level of that is true, I've just gone and deleted apps. Like, they're apps that I use, but I know I can re-download them once I clear out some space. So sometimes we need to just stop making the excuses and do the things you want to do the things you're going to say you're going to do, and stick to it. No matter what happens on the external, you need to be persistent and resilient. When adversity comes up, when setbacks and challenges arise, how are you facing that? Are you facing that head on, or are you taking that as, okay, well, that means no, that means I can't do this, or I shouldn't do this because the universe is telling me that they're putting a roadblock in your way? No, that is God literally saying, okay, well, are they truly ready? Are they truly committed? You know, how much can we trust their word? How much are you trusting your word, that if you say something, then you do it? How much are you trusting that? And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to know all the steps and how they play out. You just have to start, okay? And often it's not starting that's the hard part, it's the maintaining it, it's the being consistent and showing up when you don't want to show up. It's showing up even though you feel like you're not enough, or you feel as though, is this even working? It's you keep showing up no matter what. You keep showing up. If it really and truly it means a lot to you and it's something that's placed in your heart that you know you want, keep showing up for it, and know when to step back, know when, because everything in moderation. We need to remember that we need to balance out things as well. There's no good suddenly going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. We need to have a level of maintenance because we need to make it sustainable. But the main thing that a lot of us we struggle with is the fact that we get the ball rolling and then we lose the fuel and we end up stopping. It is quite simply that. We get all this momentum up and going, we get all excited, and then we hit this point, whether that's a roadblock, whether that's a setback, whether that's a no from something, a rejection. We face that, and instead of allowing ourselves to pivot round that and learn from that experience, often we see that as a, okay, no, I'm not supposed to do that. You know, otherwise it would have worked out. Otherwise, things would have gone this way. That's a problem. When we think things should go a certain way, we We limit ourselves because we know the destination point of where we want to be, but we do not have the entire map and direction of how to get there. You know, this isn't Google Maps. Life is not Google Maps. Life will not take you from one point to another and tell you a predictable way. We will not have it all set out, and if we did, it wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be surprising and spontaneous, and we wouldn't learn the same way. Whereas if we was to be in the driver's seat but surrender at the same time, allow ourselves to go down different paths and different avenues, you know, if there's a road closure, just go a different way. You don't have to just go back home if there's a road closure. Carry on going, but you just might need to take a different way round. And sometimes that might be longer, but sometimes that might be quicker. Sometimes that might mean we explore unknown territory which we hadn't before had access to, because if we've always done things a certain way, we've always got the same results. You know, if you was to drive from one place to another and you always take the same route, then you're very limited onto the things that you're getting to experience, the things you're getting to see, and the places you're able to see. Whereas if you take a different route, an unknown route, then there's going to be surprises along the way. You know, you might find a shop along the way, or you might find a road that, I don't know, I'm just using this, I'm just going with this example, but you get what I mean. Sometimes we need to take that redirection because there's something down that other way that we can't see within our physical eyes or make logical sense of, but there is a higher power. Whether you believe in that or not, it does not matter. This is testing your resiliency. This is testing your This is testing your resiliency. So are you going to show up? Are you going to do the things you said you were going to do? Are you making excuses? Where in your life are you making excuses to not do the things that you want to do and that you know you need to do to get to the place you want to go to? Okay? So, keep showing up. I believe in you. Bye.